That should work right now. Let me check. Yeah, that seems to be working. Okay, good. Ah, well. So first of all, I'm going to start PgAdmin 4. Okay, so I did install it from pip, so I needed to activate the virtual environment, then run PgAdmin 4, and then says navigate here to your browser. Okay, so once in here, let's make this with a bit more zoom. Okay, so in the install, like this is PgAdmin 4, in PgAdmin 3 or in desktop, this should not be the case, but it asks for a user and password to access the administration. And then you get into here. Hello, okay. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is to add the server here. So you see that there is a tree. Okay, and PgAdmin 3 is similar to this as well. Yeah, it's the new one. It's the new one. But it does the same thing as PgAdmin 3 in reality, so don't be much bothered. If PgAdmin 3 is working for you, PgAdmin 4 takes a lot much to set it up properly. Like I get why they wanted to do this, but the installation process and configuration of this is horrible. It is just horrible. So yeah, first hurdle that you get usually is that you need to here say, so I'm right clicking, so this is the right click, register server. Okay, put any name. Then on connection, usually you installed Postgres in your local machine. This should be localhost. This is the standard port, so by default it should be running in this port. And then maintenance database, that should be always Postgres. The username to start, I recommend using Postgres, not your username, and no password so far. Okay, when you do this, it'll try to connect and it'll say that connection failed. Okay, that is normal. So here is the thing. So in this case, it's because it says that nothing is listening in this port. So let's open a new shell. So in Debian, Ubuntu, in most installations, you will have configuration for Postgres here in etc PostgreSQL, and you have one folder per version. Okay, so you go basically to the latest version or uninstall the other versions if you're not using them to avoid having my mess in my computer. And then main is the name of the cluster. You just enter that. Okay, there are two files, just two, that we are concerned with. Let's make this bigger as well. Let's make this bigger so we can see exactly what I'm doing. So one file is the PostgreSQL conf, the other one is the PgAdmin -l if you like to see it like that. Okay, those two are the main files that we need to be concerned with. So you need root to edit the files or to be the Postgres user. So in the PostgreSQL conf, how complicated it is to upgrade an older version to a newer one? There are scripts to move the data. So the problem is if you have data. there are scripts that automatically try to migrate. There is also, I mean, we are taking here things out of order, but for databases, there is you can create backups of the database. Missing something here, but it is possible to create a backup in SQL format of the whole server and execute the whole backup in the new server, and when it finishes, the new server has the same data. Does Wikipedia use those? Those what? Postgres? Have to be more specific, okay, like, use what? I think, originally it used MySQL, but I'm not sure what they are using now. I have no idea. So yeah, I was saying, here in the... scripts, yes, they use... they should use SQL. So, most important thing on the PostgreSQL conf is here. Listen addresses, localhost by default, and port. Okay, so if you don't change this, if you don't uncomment this, by default it's listening only localhost, so it will not work over the internet. That's most of the time what you want, because you don't want some random person connecting from the internet to your database, so the default is fine. If you want this to be accessible over the internet, you will use the asterisk instead of localhost for all IPs. But localhost should be fine, because we are going to develop with this, and SQL can be pronounced in a lot of ways. You can pronounce SQL as SQL, you can pronounce it as SQL, you can pronounce it as a... There is other pronunciations as well that I forgot. But yeah, different people use different pronunciations, but sometimes I tend to use SQL because it flows more naturally than SQL. In Spanish, I say SQL in Spanish, which is SQL, but it flows better than SQL. So that's why in English I tend to say SQL. But yeah, there is a lot of discussion on how to pronounce SQL. Yeah, so no. SQL backup. It's just creating a file that is full of SQL commands or SQL commands, whatever you call them. Yeah, and now have a look into the port. Be very careful on the port, because by default is 5432, but because I have been upgrading, I have been creating more versions. Each new version bumps the port one number, and now it's up to the 5436. It's the new port number. So mine is running in a different port. Then the other thing is that in order to connect, so let's say that we connect. So the other thing is this. I already fixed, but let me show you. Sorry, sudo. So here, this file describes how to authenticate the users, the PGA HBA conf. Okay. I added those two lines here, those are mine. So by default what it does is, this is the method for authenticating. So there is MD5 or Scrum SHA, so this is by password. Okay, those methods are by password. This is password. And peer is a different thing. Peer is by authenticating the Unix user. So let's say that you are in the Postgres user in Unix and you try to authenticate to Postgres, and if they can prove that you are using that role in Unix, then it will authenticate without password. The problem is that that doesn't work over TCP/IP, over networking. That doesn't work. Even if it's for localhost, that doesn't work. So, and most of the tools like PgAdmin by default will try to connect over TCP. Because of that, the peer will not work. And when you install the server, you get a random password. So you cannot guess which password it is. So your first task is to try to unlock your own server to get and configure your own password. So what I tend to do is to add those two lines. Those are for localhost. This is localhost for IPv4. This is localhost for IPv6. It's important to have both, because you are never sure if your tool is authenticating you via IPv4 or IPv6. Sometimes you put localhost and it's IPv6, sometimes it's IPv4. So important to put both, and then you put trust. Trust means that no password, all in. You just enter the server without any authentication. Of course, that's a security risk, but it means that for people that is in your computer, like if someone is in another user of your computer, inside your computer, could access the database and change everything. As far as you don't have anyone that you are sharing the computer with that can do something nasty, this is totally secure, but it's something that you can remove afterwards. So if I remove this, let me go here and disconnect from server. Because in here, properties, okay, in connection, you can see that I have here correctly 5436, okay, and username Postgres. It is okay that there are two for each IP now, two for each IP. Yeah, it works. Let's say that it works. It is okay. Yes, it is okay to have. It will take precedence the first one, but yeah, ideally you should comment out the others or remove the others, because the line is literally the same, but changing the method. So ideally you would like to comment the other two. So let me restart. Okay, if I go here now, refresh this mess. Okay, if I try to connect, please enter the password supplied, and you can put whatever. It fails, you cannot connect, and in some scenarios it will give just an error. So they will give you that you cannot authenticate. So that's why we come here, and as you all here are saying, it's best that when you comment out the other two. Also, the reason why localhost can be IPv6 is because that reads from here, from the file etc hosts, and sometimes for localhost appears IPv6. And that's the reason. So if they change it, it is set to trust. Okay, so we restart it yet again, and now it works. Okay, then what you could do is here in login group rules, okay, we have a login Postgres. We can right click and say create new login group rule, put your username, okay, put here your password, the password that you like, no XP, no connection limit. Now privileges, can log in yes, super user yes, and everything yes. Okay, that you don't need to do anything else. This is the main thing. Login, super user, that's the main thing. Okay, now I have a user that I can connect with, and it's super user. So now I can go back, I can leave back those lines. let me disconnect first. I want to mess that. Restart. So now this will not work. Okay. My password here doesn't work because this is a different user. This is the user Postgres. So now properties. Now we want to connect as the user David. This is the user that I created. Okay. Then should have the password somewhere. Username. Maybe when yeah, probably when connecting. Yeah, save password. Be careful with this save password because this it might be saving in clear text somewhere. So as long as very cheap password for you to use that is you don't care if it get leaked. Be careful because saving passwords, they get saved into some file. That's how it works. I mean, you need to save a password, it needs to save somewhere. There is no. If there is an encryption, it will be trivial to break. So yeah, use a cheap password there. So now we got access with password. Okay, and then we have table spaces. Forget about this. Forget about table spaces. We're concerned about databases. Okay, and it comes with one database, Postgres. Okay, don't touch this database. This is the internal database. This is. It has probably language extension, subscription, schemas, a lot of things. Schemas public contains the tables here with lots of tables, but don't touch this. Don't touch this database. You can read it. You should not change it. So what we do is create a new database. Create database. You just need a name, and everything can go by default. You don't need anything here. You just need a name. Okay, the owner is automatically selected, and that's it. You can see in the SQL what is the SQL command that is going to be created. So it says create database you spoke with owner David encoding UTF-8, connection limit -1 is template false. Okay, yeah, no touch. Yes, exactly. Don't touch that. You can also, so from all of that, most of this is automatic. Also, if you want to run this from a SQL command, if you just run create database you spoke and the semicolon here, it will do mostly the same. So that's all you need to do. Create database you spoke, or via the UI. Does use snake case. This is something that you are not gonna like. It's not because of Postgres, it's because the SQL standard. The SQL standard says that uppercase and lowercase, that most things are case insensitive. So when you do a query, this is going to be case insensitive most of the time. So you see what it has created? My test in lowercase. You can make it created in uppercase. You need either I don't remember, depends on the system, is either double quotes or backtick. I don't recall which one was Postgres. Let's try this one. Yes. Then the problem is that if you say use database, I think it was use or connect, was connect or connect my test. No, it's not connect, it's use my test. I don't remember this, it doesn't matter, but when you do, we can see this with tables in a second, but when you put that, you might think that you are getting to the top one when you are getting to the bottom one. That's why a snake case is gonna be better in SQL, because it is crap, but this is the SQL standard. Nothing wrong with PostgreSQL. PostgreSQL just is trying very hard to follow the standard. Now I want to delete it. Delete, yes. Or you can say drop database my test, and you'll see that it drops this one here. Top, it's gone. So yeah, not ideal, but yeah, to prevent confusions, all the characters should be lowercase. All characters lowercase. You use underscore or non-underscore, whatever you like, but all lowercase makes things simpler, less bug prone. Okay, inside a database, you have a ton of stuff. Okay, most of this, or all of this, you don't care about. You don't care about anything of this. You only care about the schemas. And the schemas comes from one schema, public. And again, you don't care about anything here, except one thing, tables. Everything else is crap. Everything else is other stuff. Can I touch the stuff you spoke? Yes, you can create your database. You can create in your own system database you spoke. In your system, run the query or right click and create database, and you can do whatever. This is the point. That's what I'm trying to say. But the database is empty. Okay, so here tables, this is empty. So that's the first thing that we want to fill. So you right click, create table. Okay, and we're gonna say messages. Okay, whatever the name of the table is. I just need to go to columns and create a column and say ID serial is that is counting. Okay, this is the primary key, not null. And the next one will be, for example, username, which we will use a varchar 50, not null. And now message, that will be text, that will be not null. Okay, so not null means that, you know, all here in Rust we have option that is either some or none. So in SQL all data can be null. It can have either data or null, and null is a special case, like none in an option. So not null prevents this from happening, that you cannot write null into a field. We don't want any of those fields to be able to be unset. We save, and we got out our data. We got out our table that has the columns here, has the constraints, which is the primary key, has no indexes, which by the way we need an index or something. Oh well, doesn't matter, we need to define that later on. Okay, so now, yes, null is more common than non-null, yes, surprisingly. Okay, now I'm looking that here, right click, we have, let's see, drop is for removing it, we don't want that, refresh, restoring, doing a backup, import, export data, maintenance, scripts. I can create that. Scripts is basically backups as well, or placeholders for doing something. Truncate is deleting everything. truncate is like drop, but without dropping. Removes all the contents, but it doesn't drop the object itself. And here we can view edit data all rows. Okay, and it has created a SQL query for us that is selecting all the fields from messages. For public you can remove it, that is not needed. Oh, I cannot change it. Okay. Add ordering by ID ascending. Okay, so now I can say here other row, default, username need to specify, message, I am here. Okay, and then can I write it? Yes, save data changes. Okay. Well, truncate in a vec string converter. No, truncate is like vec.clear. So just to truncate will be like vec clear, which removes everything. And what was the other one? Delete drop is like drop vec, which destroys the whole thing. Okay, so we got some data. We can create another row. And now you cannot say that I will never have said that, because we just said this. Okay. Okay. Here in tables, messages. Okay. Dashboard, properties, SQL. I'm not sure if I'm able to follow. If it is an array, the size is fixed, you can only empty each individual item, but you always need to have the same items. So here in SQL you have the create table definition, like how to remove the table, how to create a table. Yeah, and here at the end we have Scratchpad to do stuff. Can do a select star from that's F5. Oh yeah, it works. Okay. Okay, and you can do where username equals David, and it will filter the username. You can do order by message, and it will order by the message, or message descending, and it will do descending. If we testing delay, okay. $16 seconds? And I set it to 0 latency in the profile? But still you got 16 seconds of latency? Wait a second. Wow. Yeah, there is a lot of latency, I don't know why. Wow. Yes. That's in my side. I will need to recheck that. Okay. Okay. No point in trying to fix it on stream because I will. Yeah, no, the stream is delayed by 15 seconds. I don't know if Restream is creating the delay or is my encoder settings or what. I'm not sure. Anyway, you can insert data by doing insert into messages. Okay, and you can put here, so for example, the ID is automatic. So we can put here test1 message1 and then select the start from yes, it should be here. Yes. Can remove. Okay, let's see. Yeah, there is a lot of delay. A lot. Anyway, it is either Restream adding the delay or is my encoder. Okay. So we see that we can keep adding messages. Okay, let's go how you insert. You can also update. Oh, I forgot this. How is the update? Let's see. So many years since I use SQL myself. Yeah, so we have a sample here. So to refresh my mind. So update message. Username dramatic, where ID equals 4. If I run this, you see that now we got this. They got sorted improperly. We can force the sorting. Okay. Can do another one. Media wiki. I don't know. But this is mostly the way to work with the database. You create new tables, you add data, insert data, delete data. Can remove ID7, and it has been removed. And by the way, -- is for comments, for commenting a line. What else? Do I have ChatGPT? Yeah, so in here we had a sample code. No. Here. Here there is a database URL, and there is a sample URL. So this URL needs to have the database, the system Postgres, the IP, and the name of the database that you created. Okay, so that is not messages, because that will be the table. That should be called uspoke in this case. Okay, and also the username is missing here, and password. So the database URL needs to have user, password, and so on, unless the PgAdmin you have trust for passwordless. And then when it executes the queries, it will execute the query in that database, and when you do the select, you do the same queries that we are doing in PgAdmin, but in here. That's how it works. So for example, can you create for me a sample code in Rust using SQLX that connects to localhost PostgreSQL? Username David, password 123456, database uspoke, and does select for the table messages with fields ID, username, message, and some insert into with sample data. That should be specific enough. Here it is. You can see the connection string when you have user, password, IP address to connect to database, and now the query is doing here the select the ID, username, message from messages. This is the same as from PgAdmin. And then that fetches the messages. And here is a sample insert with username and message, Alice, hello world. This is already a program that could work. Do we want to try this program straight away? I need to change the password. But that's easy. Let's just change the password. Because I didn't put 123456, so let's change the password first. Password 123456. Okay. Next thing. Cargo new uspoke test. Okay. File, open folder, uspoke test. Don't save. Reload everything. Nice, nice. We got here. Oh, did my terminals disappear? Will PgAdmin be broken now? Let me try to replay that. Yes, has been lost. Okay, okay, okay. That's fair enough. Yeah, so let's just write me the cargo toml file for the above program. This is the next level of laziness. Okay, we copy the dependencies, and now my extensions are recommending me that I should put 6.2. Yeah, I mean, it's old. The data that they have is old. That's normal. And now main rs, copy code. Cargo run. Okay, it's building. Okay. One of the features. Okay, let's. I just want to try ChatGPT to tell me what's the problem. I can figure it out, but I'm getting super lazy. This is very bad. To run this with looks like we're missing a feature flag for the SQL X crate that's required for running the program with cargo run. Runtime Tokyo. Okay. Thanks, ChatGPT. So we come here, paste, save, cargo run. No. This is from runtime async runtime Tokyo ROS TLS runtime Tokyo native TLS. Yeah, don't trust ChatGPT. It is also possible that the recommendation from ChatGPT is old. Maybe this changed from one version to the next one. Okay. Database URL must be set to query macros. Okay. I think that we need to copy and say URL equals the what? No. Copy, paste. Yeah. Connection refused. Ah, yes, I'm missing the port. 5436. Okay, and now the port is missing here. 5436. Okay. And it has inserted one row. When we call again, now we have the Alice, then two Alice. Okay. This one will be here because the environment variable is not set for Visual Studio Code. I set it here in the in this terminal, but I will need to close Visual Studio Code and reopen it with this set. So let me try to do this in a second. So let's close Visual Studio and code now. Let's see if it likes that now. It seems that it likes it, and the thing is that it will run the query into the server, and it will, yes. Error return from database. So it runs the query to the database even from Rust Analyzer to double check that is correct. So it's even more convenient. I will need to run the PgAdmin. I will do it off screen. Source PgAdmin 4 bin activate PgAdmin 4. Yeah, I know. What? Why is it broken now? Ah! Is it broken, really? Yes. Ah, no, is this one that needs to... We need to reload it completely. Ah, yeah, yes. Yeah, and this password has changed. We have tables, messages, and we can select. Sorry, what? The data is there. Why you say that there is no data? All rows. Ah, yes, that worked. Why the other didn't? I don't know. Ah, the public dot did mess it up for some reason. But yeah. Ah, no. I don't know. But yeah, we have the program querying the database, inserting the database. This is half of the story already done. So yeah, that's all. Whoa! Sorry. Yeah. Oh, now I noticed. Sorry about this. Yeah, the new Visual Studio Code. Ah, crap, sorry about this. Main errors. Yeah, when I restarted. Okay. Yeah, anyway. So here you can see that it inserts. If you do this, it makes the failure because you have a database failure because it's doing the query to the database. Yeah, and you can see the changes applied here. And even if you change something here, then you can come here, do cargo run. You should be able to see where it is. Ah, no, I didn't save. You need to save now. Here. You can see the change from the other one. So that's all. I don't have anything else to show for now. This is the basics. So yeah, give it a try. And at some point we can do a stream from your end trying this. And I could help setting up stuff. I don't know. But yeah, thanks everyone. I'll be closing. And see you later. Have a good one. Have good food, good lunch, good film, whatever. See you. Bye.